all music kids out there. Back for another album review. It is going to be blah, 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 blah. Can't talk today. Mary J. Blige, Strength of a Woman. There are 14 tracks on here. I definitely checked her interview out with the Breakfast Club. Love that radio show. Definitely checked that out and got to hear, what she's been going through with her ex-husband and the basically talking on her album. And a few of the tracks that I personally like is in what's crazy is how she started off with the first song, Love Yourself, featuring Kanye West. And I was like already I was like, oh, this is about to be a dope album. But number one, I like that. Which is crazy because usually I'm like, when the beginning of an album, I'm like, okay, the first track, the intro or whatever, it was okay, but where's this album going? But with her album, I'm like, okay, I like the first track. Like, it's crazy. And then after that, number 11, I like number 11, Smile. 13, Strength of a Woman. And then Hello, Father. And I chose those 4 tracks because while listening throughout the album, they stood out the most to me. They were more, they're, of course, the whole entire album is just, it's crazy. Like, if you ain't listened to it or checked her album out yet, listen through it from beginning to end because, particularly artists like Mary J. Blige, for me, in this album that she just released, it's kind of like, it kind of goes like from beginning to end. Beginning, she starts off like in this very emotional state, and you hear her pain and what she's been dealing with the past couple of years, and then it kind of in the middle kind of gets a little, the sun shines, kind of like she, it's a little bit more upbeat, especially with is that the Quavo? Number 5. Yeah, I forgot about that. Try to forget about that. I like that with the glow up. Starting right there. That's kind of when she's, hold on, I forgot who I was. I'm Mary J. Blige. I'm the queen, like, of this stuff. Like, let me check myself real quick. But again, like I was going to say, you have to listen to this beginning to end so you can kind of get the emotion and the feel of how she's going, like how it's ending. Like, it starts off, the pain, what she went through the past few years, like I mentioned, and then in the middle where the glow up track, and then on towards the end, it's where it's kind of, okay, I'm back to myself. I'm back to Mary. Like, I need to get back to, this is what I do. Missy Elliott is on this track with DJ Khaled and Quavo. Crazy. I love this song. But I think this particular song, Glow Up, is for the generation that was born maybe late 80s going into the 90s that didn't get to grow up on the good 90s R&B music, and didn't get to hear, that good I'm Going Down, tracks like that. This is kind of her way of introducing, how I'm taking it is the Glow Up track with Quavo, because he's, part of the youngin' group, the generation, but him and the Migos are, popping off. But I think that track is particularly her way of, like, kind of letting they're his generation, they're the Migos, Quavo and them generation, like, hey, I'm Mary J. Blige, y'all know who I am, but you probably didn't grow up, you wasn't old enough to know my music or whatever when it was, the R&B was what it was back then. So this is my way of introducing you, featuring somebody that's around your age group this is my way of saying, hey, let's mix, legend with new school and put it together. And she's like basically one of them artists that they're not gonna shun or look down on this generation's music and try to like talk bad about them and say they ain't real hip hop or something like that. Instead, she embraces, to what I'm taking it like she's embracing, like taking hip hop for what it is now and R&B for what it is now, and just kind of staying true to her who she is, but it doesn't hurt to add on, the new faces of hip hop and R&B or whatever. So I think it's kind of how that track came about. But I mean, she didn't disappoint on this album. Come on now, it's Mary J. Blige. But again, track 1, 11, 13, 14 in the Glow Up, which is track 5. Those are the main tracks that I'm listening to now. Again, it might change because when I listen to music a bunch of times, like over and over again, sometimes my favorite tracks switch up, and I'll start to like a song that I may have not cared for at the time, but now I like it more than I like my other favorite track. But yeah, if y'all have already heard this album, please comment below. Tell me what you think. What are your thoughts? And I'll holler at y'all later. I appreciate you for watching. Let's love a little bit more out there and let's hate.
It's a cool beat.